Hello everyone and welcome back to the Gamer Crafting Podcast. It is finally the end of January, which I'm pretty sure has approximately 84 years worth of days in it.
It's been 84 years.
I took the couple of first few days of January off, and it still feels like this month just dragged on forever. And I was even busy. I had plenty to keep me busy. I had new clubs to announce, the new blanket club. I had Waltham Abbey almost a couple weeks ago, week and a half ago. I did a big author reveal and I launched my author YouTube channel, and I've simultaneously been struggling to keep up with things and also feeling like, oh my god, when is this month going to end? And I don't mind winter. This isn't like oh, I hate the winter, I really wish that it was nicer out. I don't mind the winter actually. I really enjoy the dark. I enjoy the cold. As you see, I have to like roll up my like flag thing because it's so dark today. It's like hardly any light, so hopefully this isn't too dark. I tried using a ring light on my phone, but it was too bright, even on the lowest setting. So the battle for lighting in this flat continues. So hopefully it's not too dark or too bad. It's one of those things where there's so many things that I wish I could do and so many things that I think would be really cool, but we just don't have the space, and we can't look for new space until we know what's going on with immigration. We also can't get a new car until we know what's going on with immigration. And the thing is that the car, we know it's not going to pass its next MOT. So for like American viewers, it's kind of like an emissions test, like a roadworthy test. We've been told flat out, this 21-year-old car, there's no way it's going to pass its next test, so there's no point in pouring loads and loads and loads of money into it to fix it. So we've known that this is coming, but we don't really want to commit to anything until we know what's going on, which we don't yet. So for those of you counting, it's been just about 4 months. So anyway, whatever. So today I just kind of wanted to just have kind of a chill chat and show you some of the new stuff I've been dyeing for the update that will hopefully go live tomorrow. It's a bit dark for photography today, but I might have to just suck it up and do it. If you ordered any clubs in January, they are posted, or rather they will be posted soon after I'm finished filming this video. The bags are behind the couch. Behind the couch is a disaster area. There's like bags down there and my hoodie and some cushions, and you can see I left my tripod up on the table. That tripod I use for filming things, but I also use it to keep up our collapsible green screen during the live streams on Saturday. With that said, I'm gonna show you some stuff. First thing I'm gonna show you, let me just move this from one side to the other, shall we? First thing I'm gonna show you is, I don't know where I put it. Okay. Never mind. The first thing I'm actually going to show you is nothing, because I didn't actually get much progress done on my Alaska hat last week. Because I finished the ribbing, I did probably about 10 more rows of ribbing after last week's podcast, and then I changed my mind again on what yarn I want to be as the background. This is why this hat's been in my library for like years. I don't know why I feel weirdly paralyzed by choice. I could choose a great many things, but for some reason I'm feeling really like I can't make a choice. So it's on hold until I can force myself to make a choice. And it's because I keep changing my mind on what I think will look good between a gradient or something a bit more random. I don't know. I need an intervention. I need someone to just come and pick the yarn for me and put it in my hands and be like, just start the colorwork section. Stop being ridiculous. So I did start a framework bralette, and I put it somewhere to show you that I have a distinct feeling that, am I sitting on it? Oh my god, I'm sitting on it. miraculously didn't pull any stitches off in the act of pulling it out from under my rear end. So, okay, so I started a framework bralette after I sort of talked a little bit about it last week. I will pop the pattern into the comments. So this is another bra pattern by the same designer who did the ripple bralette, which I did knit and I did make, and I totally forgot to include that in my video where I was talking about everything that I finished in 2019. Completely forgot that, even though I did a whole video about it. Okay, well, done me. So I started a framework bralette, which is slightly different in construction, and also it's with a DK weight yarn instead of a 4-ply, so it's gonna hopefully knit up a little bit faster. I started this because, well, for a few reasons. So first of all, when I finished the ribbing on the Alaska hat, I was like, well, this is no longer a mindless knitting project. It's not something I can take, you know, if I'm gonna go see a movie, I can't take that with me, or if I'm gonna go watch a movie at a friend's house or hang out with people, you know, it's something I have to be a little bit more focused on. So I thought, oh, well, I need something else that's just like, you know, gonna be pretty chill knitting for a while. So I started me a framework bralette, and I'm using my reverse rainicorn yarn. What have I done with the yarn here? I don't know. Oh, that's just a long tail. I'm using my reverse rainicorn yarn. So reverse rainicorn is similar to, or sorry, this is reverse ravicorn. Reverse rainicorn is similar, it's black, but the rainbow pops aren't as, they're like bright, but they're not neon. And the other ones in that are Lady Grainicorn, which is gray and like bright but not neon, and Lady Rainicorn, bright but not neon. So this is the only neon one of the rainbow ones. So anyway, so you can see it kind of does this sort of rainbow flashing thing, and I think that that's going to end up looking pretty cool. Oh, I like how I didn't drop a stitch when I sat on it, but I did, trying to show people things. Feh. So anyway, so I have just kind of been quietly knitting on that. I haven't had tons of time to knit, as you can probably tell. I've been, I don't know, it's the weird paradox of January, being too busy and yet feeling like the month's dragging on forever. It's like a weird time warp. It's bizarre. So I haven't had tons of time to knit, but I have been working on this while watching The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina Part 3 on Netflix. So that's been like fun and just campy weirdness so far, a bit like the other seasons, but so far it's, you know, it's good. I'm enjoying it. So I hope to get a bit more work done on this, but I've also been trying to go to bed earlier, and I've been trying to turn off devices earlier, and I've been trying in general to be like a little less online, so to speak, because I've been finding it kind of exhausting and kind of a time suck when you realize how much time you're actually spending on social media. She said posting on social media. I'm ridiculous. But my point is that I've been trying to carve out more time before bed to spend an hour or an hour and a half reading before I actually try to go to sleep, in an attempt to sort of clear my brain from its constant state. I usually just kind of feel like there's like a swarm of bees buzzing around in there. And some days wasps, which we all know are much more horrible. Bees are fine. Bees are chill. Bees are productive. And usually that's what my personal brand of anxiety manifests as, is just obnoxious productivity. It sounds like a humble brag. It's not. I really struggle to just chill. Like, I struggle to just sit and do nothing. I've always got to be doing something, which is why I took up knitting in the first place. Yeah, but on some days it's like wasps, where they're just vengeful and they're gonna make you pay for the sins of your ancestors. I don't know. That was a weird metaphor. It went too long. So anyway, so I started that, and I am excited to carry on with the framework bralette. It is nice. I always find that when you knit with like a thinner weight yarn for a while, and then you pick up something that's a little bit heavier, suddenly you're like, oh my god, this knits up so fast. So I've been working on that Alaska hat, which is 4-ply, and the ribbing took, you know, a fair long time. And I haven't really actually done too much time-wise on this, but it's just knitting up so much faster. Well, it just feels like it is knitting up faster, but it also feels faster than it is. I don't know. I'm sorry. I didn't I didn't have any coffee before I started trying to record this, and for that I apologize to all of you watching me flounder and flail about rainbow bras. Okay, that's enough of that. So I kind of wanted to show you some of the stuff that's going to be in the next shop update, I guess. I mean, I guess it is technically a shop update because I'm updating the shop. We don't generally do things quite the same as some other indie dyers do, where they kind of have like a set time and date. Things are a bit too in flux, so I feel like that wouldn't really work for us, and I would end up stressing myself out potentially even more, and the bees would turn into wasps. So I like how I'm saying this and I'm actually wearing my beeswax hat. That was not an intentional metaphor, but you're all welcome. This is the beeswax hat. I made it last year, like over a year ago, but for last sort of autumn winter, and this is the one that Sarah stole from me. As you can see, I have temporarily reclaimed it. I don't know how long that's gonna last. She's got hunger in her eyes, so I feel like the hat won't stay on my head for very long. It's probably gonna go as soon as she comes out here. Anyway, I'm wearing it right now, so you're welcome. Anyway, I wanted to show you some of the stuff that's gonna be in the next shop update, I guess. So it's gonna be a pretty big one because I've been stocking some stuff up for a while that honestly probably should have gone up on the website sooner. But it's the process of not just dyeing things, but then you have to take pictures of it, and then you have to edit the pictures, and then you have to create the listings on the website, and then you have to make the list, like make sure the listings and the inventory is right, and then you have to like tell people that it's there, and it's that stuff at the other end that sometimes creates a little bit of a bottleneck and doesn't end up happening. Anyway, so first up is the burned rainbow semi-solids. I mean, like, they're gonna knit up probably somewhere between a variegated and a semi-solid, if that makes sense, because there is a bit more variation to the skeins than just the standard semi-solids I would normally do, but they are still tonal, I guess. So anyway, so this is the burned rainbow set, and I will have some of these on multiple bases. They'll all be available on multiple bases, but I've only dyed a couple of the shades onto all of the available bases because I ran out of yarn because I can't count. So sorry. It'll be available to order, and then as soon as I get the yarn in, when I place my yarn orders in the next few days, when February starts and we are released from the time vortex that apparently is January, I will dye it onto that and get them up onto the website. But I didn't really want to wait any longer. So anyway, this is immolated dragon fruit, so it's like a really bright neon. That's a bit burned, hence that's a big piece of fluff. Hence the burned rainbow moniker. I don't know how well the colors are gonna show up given that it's so dark. But anyway, this is like a neon pink, and it's kind of been like kind of overdyed. It hasn't actually been overdyed. It's kind of been overdyed. I'll just say that. I'm not trying to be super secretive about how I do things. It's just I don't really know how to explain what it was that I was doing to achieve this. So in any case, so this is immolated dragon fruit, and this is just on a normal merino nylon sock base. Where's the next one? I don't know. I have to find it. Okay, it's in here somewhere, probably, ish. No, there it is. Okay. This is what happens when you have too many things to photograph. They all end up in this bin, and then when I look for things, it looks ridiculous. So anyway, so this is the next one. This is called Oxidated Orange. So again, quite a bright sort of neon-y orange with sort of burned around the edges. So it's neon. It's more bright neon in some places than others, and in other places it's more of sort of like a grayish, and that's kind of the same with this one here. The next one I've just realized isn't dry yet, and it's in the drying tower over there, so I can't show it to you, but it's the same concept. It's a bright neon yellow that's been burned, and what have I decided to call that one? Something pineapple. I'm sorry, I can't remember. I'm definitely not firing on all cylinders today. I'm firing on like half of my available cylinders, which I feel might be fixed with some food and some coffee and a nap. I'm only gonna have maybe time for 2 out of the 3 of those, so I better choose wisely. Anyway, so after the bright neon yellow pineapple one, this is luminous lime. As you can see, they're all pretty similar in the style in which they are dyed. Sort of neon with this burned overcoating. It's not over dyed. I haven't over dyed it. It's just, like I said, I don't really know how to explain how I achieve this. But anyway, let's just say it's burned. So again, a bright neon green that's been burned. Hasn't actually been burned. I feel like I need to like specify that so people don't think that I'm like setting my yarn on fire and being like, look how cool this looks. That would smell horrible. Okay, this is scintillating seaweed, so it's another green because I figure most rainbows get 2 blues, and I really enjoy green, so I feel like this particular burned rainbow deserved 2 greens. Although I did that for the emo rainbow too, so maybe this is just a thing that I do. I really like green. Let's have 2 in the rainbow. It's not really a rainbow then, but I don't care. So scintillating seaweed, which is a bit of a darker green, but it still has these really bright areas here that are a bit more of a blue base. And then speaking of blue, we have Blueberry Blaze. As you can see, these all have sort of like fiery hot names with like, are they all fruits? I think they're all fruits. Well, fruits are vegetation because seaweed isn't a fruit, but you could eat it. So this is Blueberry Blaze. And then where's the last one? This last one is probably my favorite of the collection, of the Burned Rainbow collection. And I feel as though I will definitely use it for something very soon. But this is, dropping things. This is Toasted Aubergine. So it's, if you are kind of familiar with my Om Nom Berry semi-solid, it's kind of like that, but burned. But it's also got a bit more of a blue to it because it's not using the same dyes, it's just kind of a similar color. I should probably stop trying to explain things. But anyway, so that is the minus the yellow because I forgot to make sure that it was dry so that I could film this. Well done. Excellent job, me. So anyway, so that is the Burned Rainbow collection. And the ones I just showed you are all on the 4-ply, just like a merino nylon sock base. And I should have showed you this instead, but I didn't because, again, not totally there. So I did it as a mini braid. Who's going to tell me no? I'm the boss. Anyway, so this is the Burned Rainbow mini skein set. So there's 7, can't count. So there's 7 20-gram mini skeins, so that's 140, yes, 140 grams of, and this is just, again, a standard merino nylon sock. But I quite like this, and I really want to use this for something, but I don't know what. Also, I also did this mini set as a DK. Anyway, I also did the Burned Rainbows on a DK 100% merino base if you wanted to use it for like garments. I mean, I know a lot of people use 4-ply to make garments, but I've done that and it just takes forever, and I'm a very slow knitter and I find it kind of demoralizing to be knitting the same thing for the better part of a year. I mean, yeah, and I mean, especially when you put all that work in and then you find out that, you know, the designer's perhaps not the kind of person you want to be supporting, and then you feel weird wearing it and then it just sits in your closet for like 6 months. Anyway, we're not going to get into all that. Point is, 4-ply sock, and it's also going to be on a DK merino base. These big mini braids. Because I feel like we need to show the DK weight yarn community some more love. Anyway, so then I have like a couple of random things because I've been trying to expand existing colorways onto new bases as and when I have time and space for it, which is not often. Anyway, so there's a DK on the DK. When I launched the DK sock base a year and a half ago, I don't exactly know when it was, I based it off of She-Ra, the reboot on Netflix, which is really fun. And I dyed Glimmer onto that DK sock base, and that's been, I think, the most popular of that particular type of collection launch, whatever. So I decided to dye it onto a sparkle sock base. So that's Glimmer. It's like a really nice sort of pastel-y sparkly with purples and pinks and blues, and it's nice. It's just nice. So yeah, so that will be up. I've got a few skeins of that. And I feel like I had more random stuff, but I couldn't tell you right now. Oh, that's where that skein of yarn that Sarah was looking for went. So this is cunning. This is not new at all, but we were looking for it to pack up an order, and I think it probably fell into this bin and fell to the bottom, and that's why we couldn't find it. But it was fine because I dyed more of it, but yeah, well done. Excellent job, me. Okay. Do I have other random stuff in here? I do. So I have this. This is a very, it's attached itself to some fluff from the Monster Fleece yarns because they were in the same bag at Wolf and Abby. So, because mohair is very fluffy, always. So this was an experimental dye, but I ended up doing a whole bunch of it because I really liked it. So this is on an MCN 4-ply base, so merino cashmere nylon. It's lovely and soft. Sarah kept picking it up and going, oh my god, this one's so soft. I was like, I know, it's got cashmere in it. So this is called, I've called this Amethyst Deceiver. It's a sort of a tonal purple, and I called it that because Amethyst Deceiver is is a kind of mushroom, and I thought that was a cool name. I googled purple mushrooms and up came Amethyst Deceiver, and I was like, cool, that looks great. So that's what this is called, and I think I might have a sweater quantity of this because, like I said, I just dyed. I don't think it's going to be something that I do regularly. Like, it's not going to be a repeatable thing. I just really liked it and wanted more of it. I don't know. So anyway, there's going to be some of that. Was that the other random thing I had in here? This is not the same. Similar, not the same. So this is similar to Amethyst Deceiver, but it's not the same. I was trying out different dye techniques, basically. This is on an MCN. This is on an MCN DK, though, I think. It's on an MCN DK. I'm being firm about that. And this is called Gengar at Night. I've only got a few of those. And I think that's the end of the random stuff. Oh no! I have one more random thing to show you. I mean, it's not that random. It's basically adding on to an existing collection. It feels weird calling it that. It feels like it's taking itself a little too seriously. But, so, I have all the lightsaber yarns that I've had for, I don't know, a couple of years now? At least two and a half, I don't know, a while. How long have I been here? How old am I? I don't know. And those started off with Skywalker, Yoda, and Vader, and then I had a lot of people be like, we demand a Mace Windu lightsaber, even though he's the only one with the purple. And I was like, you know what, that's fair. We should definitely have a purple lightsaber yarn. So I very quickly added the Mace Windu lightsaber. And then I did a gay saber for a Pride thing last summer, and that was fun. And there's still some of that in the shop, but I don't think I'll dye it again. So keep that in mind, I guess. Anyway, so after I saw the Rise of Skywalker, no spoilers, I decided to dye a new lightsaber yarn for Rey. So I'm not going to have any spoilers as to anything else. If you've seen it, you'll understand, and if not, you're not being spoiled. So, because I know there's a lot of people who, you know, can't get to the cinema for one reason or another, either because it's just ridiculously expensive, or you've got kids or carrying responsibilities, or maybe you just don't like going to the cinema because there's a lot of other people there and people sometimes suck. So the point is, no spoilers, but I have dyed a new lightsaber yarn, which will be in the shop update. This will be repeatable, obviously, with the other lightsabers. And then I think I'm left with the Witch collection. So this, the Witch subclass collection was brought into existence because of a Facebook meme. And the Facebook meme basically said, when every woman turns 30, she has to pick a witch subclass. And it was Forest Witch, Sea Witch, Air Witch, Fire Witch, Space Witch. So 5 different witches. And then I had a lot of people demanding there be a Tea Witch. And so I spent a lot of time deliberating that. And then I decided to add another one, but I will show you that in a minute. So there's going to be 7 new ones in the shop update, and these are all on different bases, which are still drying. So I can't show you the other bases, but they will also be on a DK sock. What else did I dyed on? DK sock, a merino bamboo, a merino bamboo 4-ply, a sparkle sock, chunky singles, and yak. 5 other bases. I don't know why I didn't just look. They're literally, I can see them from where I'm sitting. I don't know why I didn't just use my eyes and look instead of trying to squint and recall. Anyway, we're going to start with Forest Witch because it's green and I like green. So this is Forest Witch. I will show you them all on the merino nylon sock base. On the merino nylon sock base. Just for purposes of consistency. Sure. Because this is a scientific podcast. So this is Forest Witch. I will move there we go. Take off the band for you. So it's got some sort of like dark greeny browns and like a little splishy splash of blue. And it's just nice. And some really nice bright green, like a bright neon. Like the camera's not picking up how bright that is, but like there's a part in here that's just very bright. And I think that's going to knit up really nice. If I do say so myself, let me just like give myself a pat on the back here. But it's because it's green, and I'm always really pleased when I come out with a green yarn that I think is good enough that if I saw it at a yarn show, even if it wasn't mine, I would see it from across the room and I would go, oh, it's beautiful. So I feel that way about this green yarn, and the only other time that I felt that way about something that I have dyed was when I dyed Catra, which was also in the DK sock launch. And honestly, I think I've only had to re-dye Catra like once, so it's not a very popular shade. But I love it. It's like my favorite thing I've ever dyed. I don't understand why everyone else isn't as obsessed with neon green as me. It's fine. I've used Catra for 2 projects already, and it's going to be in my Volt sweater as well. So the fact that I've had to re-dye it is mostly because I keep stealing skeins of it out of the stash. Out of like the shop stash. I just, oh, I should use this. I really like this color. And Sarah's like, maybe you should use something else that you haven't used before. I'm like, but I really like this color. Anyway, that's how I feel about Forest Witch. Moving on. What else have I got in here? I have Fire Witch, which as you can see is just this bright, well maybe it's, I don't know if it's picking it up. It's just like a bright screaming orange. Like just punch you in the face and make you breakfast orange. I don't know why you'd punch someone in the face and then make them breakfast. I'm mixing my metaphors today. So it's bright screaming orange with some like red and black speckles. Because I thought the red made sense because fire and the black made sense because magic. I don't know. There was some logic that went into it. So this is Fire Witch, and I really like Fire Witch on the DK sock. I can see that from where I'm sitting. And I also think it looks really nice on the yak. They're not dry, so I'm not going to show them to you because they'll look... if any of you have ever dyed yarn, you'll know that when you dye yarn, sometimes when it's still kind of wet, it doesn't look very nice. It looks kind of like sad and crinkly and limp, and it needs to get completely dry before you can kind of like, you know, pull the skeins back into looking nice instead of looking wobbly and sad. And I don't want to show you wobbly, sad yarn because, I don't know. Because I just feel like this is not a wobbly, sad yarn podcast. Maybe I should just call this episode that. Okay. What do I have next? I'll show this one, I guess. So this is Air Witch. I really like this one from this collection, actually. So, most of the sort of ecru of the yarn's natural color has been neutralized, so it's more of a white. There is still a little bit of the natural undyed in there, but it is more of like I feel like it's like a crisper looking yarn, if that makes sense. So sort of speckly and splashy, and this is Air Witch because I was trying to think, you know, clouds and wind, and then I added purple because purple is nice. And magic. That's my reasoning. There's a color that doesn't seem to make sense in any of these. It's magic. Black on an orange yarn, it's magic. Purple on an Air Witch yarn, magic. It's magic. Why does neon green belong in forest? Magic. It's just it's magic. What else do I have in here? Sorry, I've got duplicates of some things kicking around in here. So this is Sea Witch, which obviously most of you will probably be thinking Ursula from The Little Mermaid, who is a rad, awesome Disney villain, and in fact my like toiletries case that I take when I go somewhere, it has big Ursula on it. And I only got that because a very nice friend of mine that I used to work with, I had said, oh my god, like Walgreens, which is like a pharmacy chain in America. I said, oh my god, like Walgreens is doing this Disney villains like makeup collection. I was like, I don't really want the makeup because like, I don't really wear much makeup anymore. I mean, I am now, but it's because I'm filming, and also it's like, anyway, the point is that a lot of it was like for more like fancy makeup, which is fine, but I wouldn't wear it. But anyway, I really wanted this toiletry bag, but I was like, I don't really want to like pay what people on eBay are asking, because obviously they're jacking up the price way high because you can't get them here. But her mom happened to be in America at the time, and she asked her mom to bring it back for me, which was so sweet, and I still use it. And anyway, that was a really long-winded story about why I have an Ursula bag in my bathroom, but you're welcome. Now you know that about me. So this is Sea Witch, which is sort of like creamy blues and teals and a little bit of purpley purples and some greens, which I thought kind of just, I don't know, it's quite sea-like, I hope. So that's Sea Witch. I've just realized that I don't think I have Space Witch in here because it's still drying, and Space Witch is like my favorite one. Okay, so I cannot show you Space Witch on the stream because it's still drying. Sorry, but I can assure you it's amazing. So I'm going to put these back in here so that I can get them photographed either today or tomorrow. Today if I'm smart, tomorrow if I'm not. Tomorrow if I want to leave everything to the last minute and then be like, oh, why did I do this to myself? It's Friday, I'd rather be chilling out, which to be honest sounds like something that I would do, especially this week, especially in the now long never-ending month. So these you can see are not twisted up yet. Oh well, see, look, here we go. This is sad wobbly yarn. Sad wobbly yarn. It needs to be like, you know, put into shape basically. So I'll show you that one. So anyway, loads of people were asking for a Tea Witch yarn. And so I thought about it and I was like, I want to give the people what they want. If people are demanding a Tea Witch, then I want to give the people a Tea Witch. But then I was like, I don't know that tea is really my colors, like the actual color of tea. And the only way that I could think to dye tea is quite similar to the way that another dyer has done tea, and I was like, I don't really know that I like tea colors enough to dye that. And then I was like, even though people have asked for tea, I'm not convinced that they would buy tea colored yarn, if that makes sense. Which is fine. I wouldn't buy tea colored yarn. That's totally not my jam. So there's no shade there. I'm just saying, I'm just explaining so that I can tell you what came next. So I was thinking a lot about it, and then I thought, well, what if I, see, sad wobbly yarn, you gotta like, and then you can twist it up. So then I started thinking about, well, how would I want to express a tea witch? And then I thought, well, a tea witch wouldn't necessarily just be drinking tea. A tea witch would probably have like a really badass herb garden full of botanicals and lovely things to make tea with. So then I decided to pick two popular tea ingredients, bergamot and assam, and pick up what the flowers looked like. And so I ended up with purple and orange. And I think it looks really cool. So it's sort of a really dark purple with these sort of like pops of neon orange, because bergamot's actually quite bright. It is quite a bright orange flower. So it was a nice excuse to break out the neon orange dye again for this after I did Fire Witch. So I'm just gonna do these while I'm having a chat with you all. So that was my thought about Tea Witch, because I thought, well, a Tea Witch wouldn't just drink tea. A Tea Witch would be like, no, I'm gonna make magic with my tea. I'm gonna make it, you know, a Tea Witch would be like, I'm gonna make it so that my tea is magical and has magical properties. And for magical property tea, you'd have to grow the magical property. There's a pun in there somewhere, but I'm not quite awake enough to grab at it. So if you can see the pun that I'm trying to grab at with regards to property, just drop a comment if you can figure out what I'm going for. I'm not quite there. I bet you like 10 minutes after I stop filming. I'm going to think about it when I'm editing and be like, Angie, you big dork. So, Tea Witch. I like it. I hope you all like it. I hope you all like how I went with purple and orange instead of traditional tea colors. Also, you'll see that I was holding that together with a reusable zip tie, in case you're ever worried that I'm not being as green and eco-conscious as possible. I try my best. I've had these for, I don't know, a couple years, and so they just... Anyway, so this is not the zip tie podcast either. Oh, I have one more of these. So I will tell you the story of the next one as I get it prepared. So the next one, for those of you who have Netflix, there's a show called Grace and Frankie. I think this is the 6th season, I think. Grace and Frankie has Lily Tomlin and Jane Fonda, and it's really funny, and I really enjoy it. It's like one of my favorite shows, and it's one of my favorite like feel-good shows, you know, when you're feeling kind of mushy and you need something to kind of pump you up a little bit, or something just nice and like a chicken soup kind of show. So I was watching season 6, and no spoilers, but there's a line in like one of the first episodes as I was kind of preparing the witch subclass collection, and there's a line in it that says, "You have to answer your phone, you're my emotion." I don't even know what that was that just fell down. I think it was my planner I was going to show you. Oh well. And she says, "You're my emotional support witch." And I bust out laughing, and I thought, okay, first of all, that's hilarious, and second of all, the timing is just too perfect, considering I was in the process of preparing the tea, or the witch, why do I keep saying tea? The witch subclass collection. And I thought, well, no, I have to add that. So then I played around with some dyes, and these obviously have no real rhyme or reason. There's not really a lot of logic to these, like there was with the tea one, because emotional support doesn't really look like anything specific. I feel like emotional support can look like any number of things. So I chose sort of this like tealy green and quite a lovely like punchy sort of purple. It's not neon, but that's okay. So I chose these for emotional support witch, which nobody asked me for, but you're getting anyway. You're all very welcome. So this is emotional support witch, which I thought was really funny, because sometimes you do have to be the emotional support witch for friends or family for undetermined lengths of time, and that's okay. You know, if you're the kind of person who's empathetic and people tend to lean on you and you're okay with that, then maybe you're an emotional support witch. Like, everybody kind of needs one in their life. You know, everybody needs an emotional support witch. I know who my emotional support witch is. Do you know who your emotional support witch is? Anyway, nobody asked me for this, but here it is anyway, because I thought that it was really funny and I wanted to include it. Yeah, cool. And then I was going to show you my planner, which I'm pretty sure just yeeted itself off the back of my couch. Indeed it did. I wanted to give another quick plug. This is not a paid advertisement. I just really love planners and they make me happy. I've been bullet journaling for 3 years, and then I got to the point where my bullet journal was 90% business stuff, and I was sort of losing track of other things in my bullet journal that are meant to be more for my own health and wellness. So I decided to move business planning related things into its own thing this year. So I bought this. I got the digital version of this last year, and I incorporated pages into my existing bullet journal. And like I said, that was fine, but it kind of took over my bullet journal. And then my bullet journal basically was only a business tracking journal for much of last year. And I wanted to get back to being able to track other things, especially as I start my journey into being an author, writer person. There's a lot of things that I'm going to have to make happen with that, and it was kind of getting lost with the other stuff. So I decided to buy the hard copy this year. So this is called the Maker's Yearbook. And there's a lot of questions in the front of it that you use to kind of plan your year out. And I really like the way the questions are phrased, because it'll say things, you know, like, for example, what did you do well, you know, this year? Because it assumes that you're planning, you know, in the end of the year before the year you're buying it for. So, you know, it was like, what did you do good and what did you do really well in 2019? Like, what are things that you're proud of? What are things that your successes? And I think that's a really good way of like framing things, especially with creative businesses, because it's so easy to get caught up in comparing ourselves to other people that are within the industry, even people that we really like and people who are like, wow, they're really cool and they're so nice to me and they're a really good person and they give back to the community and they're really sweet, but also like they're much more successful than me, and it just really makes me feel garbagey, and like it's so easy to fall into that trap, and I do that all the time. In fact, I did it this week and I got really moody about it. So anyway, my point is that this really definitely helps with that. And then as you can see, I've already just jumped straight into using it like a load, and I've found that it's really good. As you can see, and that was the other thing, is that I like my bullet journal to be a little bit like nicer, and I like to put maybe a little bit more effort into like making some of the pages look nice. And by the end of last year, my bullet journal just was like just like random things scribbled into the margins, which is fine. But then that was why other things were getting lost. Like I was not using any of my like tracker things that I wanted to use, and so on and so forth. So I feel like if you are a small business, especially a small creative business, which is what this is designed for, give it a shot. It's still early enough in the year, you could totally do it, or just put it on your list for next year. Anyway, so I just wanted to kind of like say I am really glad that I bought this. I bought this because Diana of the Crochet Chain, who designs some pretty fab crochet patterns, she showed it to me at the end of 2018, and that's when I bought the digital version. And then this year I went ahead and I was like, you know what, treat myself to a new planner. I'm gonna buy the hardback version, and I really like it. It's been super useful so far in planning and thinking forward. So I don't know, you know, if you like planners and stuff. Also, I've done a bit of bullet journal stuff on my author channel, Ryan Fletcher Writes. I'm not going to talk about that like too much. This isn't going to become like, you know, writing channel version 2. I just, you know, I don't know. It's like a big part of what I'm doing right now, so it becomes difficult to not mention it, if that makes sense. Okay, that's probably enough for me. I have literally sat here for 43 minutes and 55 seconds yammering at you. It may be less when you're actually watching this, because I will edit out things like sneezes and when I'm just staring into the distance trying to figure out what I'm talking about, so on and so forth. I've really sat here for that long just showing you yarn and chatting, and I hope you all enjoyed it. I am now going to stop filming this, and I'm going to do a quick video of showing off what the clubs are for this month, but I'm not going to post it just yet. I'll wait a couple of weeks. Because I feel like it's going to be good to have a record of that somewhere, even if just for little old me. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please do like and subscribe, drop a comment down below, all of that stuff. And if you find that YouTube algorithms are harshing your mellow with not being able to find the people that you like, then you can tap the bell and you'll just get like a little notification thing when I upload a new video. But that's cool. We all get lots of notifications. So if you don't want to do that, it's fine. I understand. There's no shade. There's no judgment. It's good. Thank you all for watching. We will be back on Saturday with a live stream playing I don't know what yet. We played Frostpunk last week and encountered a glitch. The glitch is now fixed, but still. We'll be back on Saturday with a live stream if you want to come and hang out. I would encourage place. I'm gonna finish filming, and then I'm gonna edit, and then I don't know. We've got all kinds of stuff that needs doing, so there's in the month that never ends. Okay, thank you all for watching. I will see you next week with hopefully some more thrilling content.